Her name is Evangeline, though he only ever called her Martine. It was the name he gave her the night they met, in the opulent, smoke-chased haze of a private club where she waited tables, a scholarship student surrounded by old money. "Evangeline is too earnest," he'd murmured, his voice a low thrum that vibrated deep in her bones. "You are a saint of the battlefield, my Saint Martine." Lucian Thorne was not just a man. He was an ecosystem. 20 years her senior, he was a collector of rare art and rarer experiences. His love was not a promise. It was a possession. He saw the hunger in Evangeline's eyes. Not for his wealth, but for the beauty, the culture, the world of knowledge that poverty had denied her. He offered to be her curator. The seduction was a masterpiece of tragic eroticism. It began not in a bedroom, but in a private viewing room at the Met, his hand lightly guiding the small of her back as he explained the brutal passion of a Caravaggio. His education was tactile. He taught her the weight of Georgian silver, the scent of a first-edition book, the feel of 400 thread-count Egyptian cotton on her skin. He didn't just want to dress her. He wanted to resculpt her senses, making himself the sole source of her awakening. He worshipped her body like it was the finest piece in his collection. Their lovemaking was a dark, exquisite liturgy. He would spend hours tracing the lines of her, committing her to memory like a map. He'd whisper devastatingly beautiful lies against her damp skin. "You are my greatest discovery. I will ruin every other man for you. This body was made for my hands alone." It was a language of absolute power, disguised as absolute adoration. He eroticized her own elegance, her own youth, making her feel that her very worth was a gift from him. The tragedy was that she believed him. Her pleasure became the very chain that bound her. The cage was gilded, but a cage nonetheless. Her friends from her old life fell away, deemed unworthy. Her aspirations for a PhD were gently mocked as a quaint pursuit for those who need certificates. He owned her not through violence, but through a devastating soul-crushing refinement. He isolated her with luxury, corrupted her with comfort, and made her complicit in her own imprisonment. To reject his world was to reject a version of herself he had made her love. The crack in the gilded veneer came on a Tuesday. They were at an auction. A stunning Art Deco necklace came up for bid, all cold platinum and sharp diamonds. "It's yours," Lucian said, not as a gift, but as a statement of fact. He placed a winning bid that could have paid off her student loans 10 times over. As he fastened the cold stones around her throat, she caught their reflection in a mirrored column. She saw a beautiful, hollow-eyed woman, adorned like a prize animal. The necklace didn't feel like jewelry. It felt like a collar. That night, in his penthouse overlooking the city, his touch felt different. His hands, which had once felt like an artist's, now felt like an appraiser's. As he kissed her, she didn't feel worshipped. She felt assessed. The erotic spell shattered. The tragedy was complete. She had given him everything: her body, her mind, her history, and he had simply added it to his portfolio. Leaving was the most brutal act of her life. She didn't pack the clothes or the jewels. She left it all, every silken reminder of him. She walked out wearing a simple cotton dress she'd owned before him, the only thing that felt truly hers. The door of the penthouse clicked shut with a finality that echoed in the hollowed-out space of her chest. Now the exploitation is a ghost of sensation. He doesn't call. He sends a tailor with a new coat, because the winter is cold and Martine always loved this cashmere. A first edition of her favorite novel arrives with no note, just a passage about lost love underlined in his distinct hand. He haunts her not with threats, but with reminders of the exquisite sensory world she abandoned, preying on the addiction he cultivated in her. But Evangeline is learning a new sensuality. It is the ache of her own muscles as she carries boxes to her small walk-up apartment. It is the unforgiving chill of the January air on her bare face, a feeling he would never have allowed. It is the taste of cheap coffee that is bitter and honest, and entirely her own. She stands by her window, her arms wrapped around herself. A tremor runs through her, a memory of his touch, a fear of the future, the sheer terrifying freedom of it all. A sob escapes her, raw and ugly and real. It is not a pretty sound. It is the sound of a saint breaking free of her altar, tearing the gold leaf from her skin, and discovering for the first time the warm, bleeding, imperfect woman underneath. The victory is not in happiness, but in the profound, heartbreaking courage of feeling the cold without him there to clothe her.